Hi guys, welcome to 2025. Happy New Year. The first film of the year that I'm reviewing is called Fateh. Written, directed, produced and acted by Sonu Sood. This is a action thriller, possibly not really. Fateh marks Sonu Sood's directorial debut and it is an out and out action film, one that would really make you go slightly weak in your stomach at times. Fateh tells the story of, Fateh, played by Sonu Sood, who's living in Moga and is a dairy farm supervisor. So nothing special there, and he's surrounded by people who are typical to a village, but there are a sequence of events that happen that pull him into that controversy that is surrounding the village, and how he deals with it and how he channelizes his past life to deal with this problem is the story entirely.
देखने में सीधा साधा और शांत था.
The film is largely a flashback as told by Sonu Sood himself, and it begins right at the start of the film where the film traverses back a month and a half ago into how it all began. So the first half is for the most part a setup of what's going to come in, and like I said, it's an out and out action film. Sonu Sood knows that. He is gone all guns blazing on it, and it's a good thing that he knows that it's over the top action, because when the interval hits, the film has a message for the audience which says that it's intermission and you will need this break for what's coming next. So you know that you can put on your seat belts and be ready for a action packed ride, and that's what it is for the most part of the second half. Like I said, the first half is the setup and it is good. It is emotionally relevant and contextual. You start to feel for the characters, you feel for Sonu Sood, and as well as people who he's living with or people who he's surrounded by in his village. So that part does the job really well of an emotional setup. Coming to the second half of the film, I think that's where the writing slightly falters and the pace goes up and down a little bit. So it's not as relentless as an action film needs to be of this genre. It's not really heavy on storytelling, so it's relying on quick cuts and fast-paced action sequences to keep you glued. Unfortunately, there are quite a few moments in between where the pace drags a little bit, or you would feel that it's not really helping with the overall mood of the film. So the writing and the screenplay are really where the film falters a little bit. Apart from that, I think editing is hit and miss, because there are certain parts where the editing is immaculate, and I would tip my hat to Sonu Sood for having the guts to let go of sequences that he's put forth as a director. It's very difficult to do, especially when you are the producer, you are the actor, you are the writer, and you are the director. It's very difficult for somebody to not be indulgent in his product, and hats off to Sonu Sood for being able to wear just the director's hat without anything else and say that, okay, this film or this scene would be used only in the flashback and nowhere else, and I'm not going to use this as a setup. Yeah, that's a good part. But then there are places, like I said, where the pace slows down and the scenes are there which may not really help the pace. So that is a hit and miss for editing.
देख आदमी को अपनी हैसियत के हिसाब से बात करनी चाहिए.
Now for the good parts. Sonu Sood is absolutely fabulous as Fateh. He lives and breathes this character. There are inspirations taken from a lot of places, but they are done really well. So the fact that there are inspirations, but it does justice to those inspirations, is commendable enough in itself.
जो मैं करता था बहुत पहले छोड़ आया हूँ, लेकिन तेरे लिए वापस शुरू करूँ.
I do not have a problem if a film is inspired from many others, because if you're making an action film like this in India, you are bound to be influenced by the likes of John Wick and Commando and Equalizer. There are moments in this film which make you remember some moments which are similar from all of these films that I named, but that's okay. If you do it well, you keep their legacy alive, and it's all good. At least in my book, it is all good. On to the cinematography and the action choreography. Both of these are hand in hand fantastic. The cinematography, the quick cut action sequences here, the way it's been shot, the camera angles, the nature of shots, it's just so slick and the entire mood that gets created is fabulous. Again, it reminds you of films like Kill and Upgrade. On the other end, the action choreography, yes, it is heavily inspired from John Wick, Equalizer, and a lot of other films like that, but like I said, it is done and executed really well. Sonu Sood looks the part, it looks all believable, and hence I didn't have a problem with it. I really enjoyed those. I would have liked some more innovative kills, to be honest. But yes, special mention for a couple of fight sequences which are done in single take. I thought that was fabulous. The fact that they attempted to do this in one take was very good, highly commendable. And then there is a scene when that sequence ends, the camera pans out and goes for a wider shot just to show the expanse or the devastation that has been caused, and Fateh is sitting right in the middle, chill and cool as always, and there is destruction all around him, dead bodies all around him. I think that frame is really a very, very nice touch. I thought the way they reached that frame was excellent. I loved that bit. Another bit that's been done well reasonably is the background score, and you would hear names like Hans Zimmer on the list of credits for the background score. Yes, Hans Zimmer, who's given scores for films like Inception and Interstellar and Dune, is in fact part of the team that has done the background score for this. I think he's given one song in the film which has been used a lot of places, especially during the fight sequences. So that has an impact of its own for sure.
बचपन में एक प्रिंसेस की कहानी पढ़ी थी.
I enjoyed this for the most part. There are flaws that I've already spoken about, but if you like action films, I think this is a film that you should be watching. I wouldn't say this is a must watch on the big screen. You will enjoy it almost as much on the small screen as well. So you could wait for the OTT release to happen. But if you like action, then I think this is a film that you will enjoy. Do not miss it. But if you do not like action, there isn't much here for you to watch. So you can definitely skip this.
कहीं पढ़ा था सर कि हैसियत भी आसमान जैसी होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि जमीन कितनी भी महंगी हो, कोई ना कोई खरीद ही लेता है.
That's my take on Fateh, the first film that I've seen in 25. Let me know what you think. I will be talking about more movies, more series, and more books to come. Stay tuned.